And y'all are cowards if you turn the volume down.
Every one of you. If you turn the volume down, you're all a bunch of cowards. Every one of you. So hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Great Point Live. Tonight we have a special guest, and you might see we have an inconspicuous subtraction. Unfortunately, Miss Piper is not feeling well tonight, so it's me and Mike, and we're going to beat up this new guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Beatings all around.
Yep. The beatings will continue until morale improves. So
it's my creativity, I suppose. Good Lord.
Statistical Zero says, it's been a while since I was able to catch a live GP5 cast. Hi, all. Hey, buddy. It's good to see you. Love your comics, as usual. This is, hey, buddy. This right here, this guy is Michael Curtis's colorist on 3 Nights, 4 Days. So be sure to check him out. He's going to be here next week to talk about another book.
Oh, okay. On behalf of Mike, get back to work.
No, that's the other colorist. That's not Armand. Armand's the other one. He's the one that you
Armand.
Armand's the one you had to give the Steiner recliner to and just like, get back to work.
Armand, get back to work.
Yeah. It's
you have to get back to work so much that I mistook you for the other guy.
Y'all cowards don't even blow out your eardrums. I mean, right? Well, yeah, say Punished Berserker says Pipper got the Corona Chan. I hope not. That would be very bad.
Nah, I think it's her gastrointestinal issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't got a working intestine.
She'll be fine. She'll
be okay.
Get some rest and she'll be good to go. Yeah, take a day. I had to take a day yesterday. I had an asthma attack after 15 years. I hadn't had an asthma attack in 15 years. And just yesterday just had to be the perfect conditions for one. So that's what happens. And it'll say the bidding's until your funding is completed. So that'd be good. Okay, so keep that in mind. Boogie, we're going to keep beating you until you're fully funded.
You're going to get the smackdown of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you got to realize me and Mike are big dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be very painful.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm a relatively big dude, but I don't know if I'd want to take the beating, though. But hey, if it means getting the book funded, I'll do it.
I'm 6'2", 300 plus, and Mike's 6'5". I don't know his weight. 300 plus. So, yeah, we could hurt you, but we're not going to because everything's going to be fine. Put our arms around it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I hear dust is blowing in from the Sahara. Apparently, I think tomorrow they said we'll see some awesome sunsets here where I live. So.
There's like a picture going around on Twitter today. I think it was like they were showing like the overhead shot of like the Earth, and there was just like this big just cloud of dust coming in.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and that's actually a really necessary phenomenon because that's how the Amazon jungle gets fed. Without the dust, it wouldn't be a jungle down there.
And another interesting thing is it actually calms the tropics down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's dry air. So, let me see.
No hurricanes during this season.
Well, I think the thing ain't gonna last forever. So, I wish
for as long as it is. Whatever.
Yeah. I think they call it. Was it the Sahara dust storm?
Yeah, I think the Sahara dust storm. I think so. That's what it was. I think a coworker of mine actually. She has not asthma. She has like really bad like allergies. So she's been kind of like acting up because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
She on the East Coast, I take it. Oh, poor lass. Ah, terrible. Imagine living on the East Coast.
I'm looking up from images right now. I mean, it's a freaking, like you said, you can see it. In satellite images and stuff like that. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ridiculously large.
Apparently, it's near the Gulf now, from what I'm seeing. It's close to Florida. I'm looking up stuff while we're doing this because I'm very bad at this. Let's see. Today is 6:25. What's this in New York Post? Here we go. Yeah, we'll just go with that. I'm gonna share this because You think this is like, what do y'all think? You thought you showed up for a comic book podcast? Think again. Yeah, biggest Sahara dust storm in 50 years hits the U.S. This Isla Verde beach in Puerto Rico. Look at that. Can't even see the city.
Oh,
Jesus.
But since it's 2020, you know that motherfucking Imhotep is in that fucking cloud somewhere.
Oh Jesus! Don't say that.
I wouldn't put it past 2020 to like bring out something like that.
Well, then it's funny how you said that. Michael Beacon said the same thing. It's 2020. There's going to be a really pissed off mummy in that dust storm.
Well, the Loch Ness monster was also trending like on like I think like a couple days ago, but they found out it was just a really big fish someone caught.
Yeah, I thought it was like it looked. At first, I thought it was shooped, like photoshopped. Because I thought maybe it was it looked like a manatee. At first, just like the underside of a manatee, like floating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's probably just a big fish, and then somebody blew it up, and made it look like it was like really huge and shit. Past 50 years, I'm just kind of. So yeah, there's a.
Did I see that they're saying that a New Jersey family drowned because they couldn't swim?
That's what happens. So here's that dust storm.
Cool.
Oh man, look at that. They say the coolest part of this dust storm is the sunsets. They say the sunsets look spectacular during a.
Like the certain spectrums of light.
Yeah, so like it gives you like of course the first thing during the day it gives you that milky looking cloud cover look, but then in the evening it was refracting off the sun and everything, and it looks like really like purples and blues and things like that. It looks really cool. The highly concentrated plume caused air quality in the Caribbean to reach hazardous levels as it swept through the area Wednesday. Health officials warn that the weather event could weaken the respiratory systems of people battling COVID-19, but they should be inside anyway if they have it, right?
That is true too.
Yep. Because that's what we've been told. Get the hell in the house. It's not causing the storm. It's just caught in the storm and is very displeased by his circumstances. Talking about the mummy that would be in the.
Is it like Brendan Fraser's mummy or like Tom Cruise's mummy?
I'm going with Brendan Fraser's mummy because that was the cooler mummy.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty awesome. I didn't even see the Tom Cruise mummy movie.
I did in the theaters. It wasn't that great. Like, yeah. I mean, I think most people could acknowledge that.
Because you remember they were going to try to do a monster, a movie monster cinematic universe.
Yeah, and they had the whole picture. I think like of the all the A-list actors that they hired for it. I think like Johnny Depp was supposed to be the Invisible Man, and then Benicio del Toro was I think Frankenstein, or was supposed like Dr. Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster, I guess.
Mm-hmm. See, that would have been really cool. It's just they didn't, as we say, they didn't send their best.
Oh no!
No, they didn't send their best to start it.
Yeah. I appreciate. Yeah, Russell Crowe was going to be Hyde apparently. So probably he was going to be Jekyll, and then a transformation into Hyde. That would have been cool, actually. Not that I don't like Tom Cruise. Don't get me wrong, but I think if you're going to try to launch that, you just go get Brendan Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to work. I mean,
his shit is getting unfucked.
His shit is unfucked. He can act again. He's fine. Yeah, apparently.
Well, he's in Doom Patrol. I think he can pretty much be in anything now.
Oh yeah. Well, see, for years he was like he was just doing any kind of shit he could because he had to pay like his ex-wife like alimony and the kids.
Oh yeah, like he left to the UK or something, right? Just to get out of it.
Yeah, because he had that like one time he had that really weird when he, on camera he looked like he was dying. People thought like he was actually like sick.
Oh man.
People like, does Brendan Fraser have cancer? Because he looks really bad, like.
No, it turns out his shit was fucked.
Yeah, but it's unfucked now.
Yeah.
He got better when Donald Trump became president. I don't know why, but that seemed to be the trigger.
Put a pep in his step.
He's like, hey, if he could become president, I can also go back to being an actor. Fatty says he's a wrong thinker, apparently. I guess that's true. Oh, look at Dark Gift giving it away for free tonight. You see this, Mike?
I see it.
What in the world? Come on, dude. I'm just joking. You don't have to spend my money. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, Boogie, who are you and why are you here?
Well, I'm Boogie-Bot from Boogie-Bot Comics. I'm here to tell everybody about the new book I have coming out on Indiegogo.
Very cool. Very cool. So, what am I going to do a screen share here?
Big old screen share. Sharing the screen.
There we go. And your book is called Robert.
That is correct.
Okay. So I have to ask because I've been kind of looking through it. You know, we got some, in the thumbnails and things like that. Is Robert a robot?
Robert is indeed a robot.
I love it.
For Robert the robot.
Very cool. Very cool. So, of course, sign up for the mailing list. I would advise everybody to do that. It's very easy to do. I will recommend one big thing. When you sign up for a mailing list, go check your email and confirm that you have signed up for the mailing list, because if you don't, you won't get the cool goodies and all that good stuff. So, yeah, graphic novel by you.
Me, of course.
Yeah, so tell us about it. Tell us about what this is going to be. Give us the elevator.
So the pitch for Robert is Robert is the sci-fi steampunk western graphic novel of the future today. It's about a robot that it's about a robot for obvious reasons for Robert the robot, and just to give a little bit of the backstory as to how the world kind of is and like why it looks kind of dark and sort of like desert like is so the sort of the backstory is Y3K happens, and if for some people who don't know about Y2K, on a previous stream that I was on, they mentioned that it was like the biggest event that never happened. Where like people essentially thought that like the solar flare was going to go off and like just basically wipe out all of like Earth's technology. And then
there's a mixture of a bunch of things that everyone was like, you know what, the world's going to get fucked. But the real thing is that they couldn't handle our computers couldn't handle calendars.
It was thought that the computer wouldn't be able to flip over to 2000. That it would go back to 1900.
And from there, all the misinformation shit happened. Like, as you just said, the solar flares were happening, killing everything.
Earthquakes, and there was going to be a concentrated eruption in the Ring of Fire in Pacific.
Jupiter was supposed to explode or let Saturn eat us or whatever. But, it's a bunch of bullshit. But in this case, it looks like the 3K.
But yeah, so for in this book, the event of Y3K happens, and most of Earth in the year 3000, Earth is essentially just this big sort of like neo sort of like just technology filled like world where it's like there's a lot more robots than there are humans in this world, but robots are still like the manual labor. They are essentially like the workforce for humans until until the solar flare happens, and the humans that are left, they either go into bunkers or they just they get wiped out from the nukes that go off, that like because like from the power plants and stuff like that like different like nuclear power plants go off. So most of Earth is kind of a dead Earth, but the humans that have survived, they've been hiding in bunkers, or they've just been hiding away from like like all the fallout, like the radiation. and the robots that were left, they all turned off.
Mm-hmm.
But in this book, what the somewhat twist of it is that what if the only bit of technology that turned back on were robots?
Okay.
But the robots now but the robots who originally did have a purpose, like if there was a chef bot or like manual worker bots or like TV personnel robots, they've all now, after they've awoken after the events of Y3K, they all have no purpose now.
Huh.
So now the way how they build a purpose for themselves or even personalities is that they look at the media, like they look at media like comic books, television shows, movies,
Okay.
different things that essentially make personalities for us. So now it's sort of like robots have taken, like since the robots have now awakened back again in the year, like after the year 3000, they're essentially now kind of learning and taking after humans.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's an interesting concept. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less engine heart and more. What would this be like?
Yeah.
Because
I like the idea of them using like old media, comic, things like that. The old media stuff to get their own personalities, essentially.
Mhm.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then so that's sort of the backstory as to why a lot of the scenery and sort of like settings that I'm going to be putting in the book. I'm going to be telling that story, but like for the book, I know that a lot of people tend to always say show don't tell.
Yeah.
So for that backstory, that's the main jumping point as to why the story, why we're here in this sort of world, sort of like post-apocalyptic sort of world. And the audience, when they're reading it, they'll actually get a glance into like why the robots act how they are, and why there's not that many humans walking around. But in this new world, humans are actually somewhat of they're actually looked as not pests. They're actually looked as like really like what's it called, like I guess like commodity, because they're the ones that can actually fix robots. Like a lot of robots actually can't fix themselves unless they learn from humans or from textbooks. But it's a lot easier to get a human who was an engineer before to actually fix robots for parts and pieces.
Okay. Well, that's neat.
So then you'll have like robot warlords that are fighting to control conclaves of humans and whatnot.
Exactly.
Nice. Just gonna hit the super chat for $2 from Dark Gift. It says, "My bad. What's up? What's up? What's up? Peeps even gave 3. Very good. So we got the extra what's up tonight, Mike."
Hey.
So we got this trailer. You want to check it? Should we check it out?
Yeah. Feel free to play it.
All right, here we go. Got full screen. There we go.
Have a seat.
I like it. Gives you just enough to want to get into it.
Yep, just shows enough to kind of get people interested, but also leaves people kind of wanting to see a little bit more of the world and the story.
Yeah. So, I like the fact that the robot had a motorcycle. That's awesome. Robot.
Those are basically going to be like their horses, but they're also going to be using like cars and like makeshift sort of like what's it called, like cars or like their own like custom built like bikes and motorcycles and whatnot.
I was about to say something, but then you would just no, you can't do that because then it would just be Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was about to say, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I was about to say, what if the robots become the motorcycles? But then I was like, no, that's Transformers.
Well, I mean, Transformers is actually a really big inspiration too. Like, I really do love collecting Transformers. So, like, it wouldn't be that out of the realm of possibility. But I feel like, if I add that in there, I just wouldn't want to make it too like 100% like, oh, it's just Transformers, you know?
Yeah. I see. A Transformers fan. I think we may have found our ground. I see. Aha.
A place to understand.
Yes. Please understand. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Go back. There we go. Scroll back to here so people can. But yeah, I like it. I'm digging the concept. I want to, and just to point out, because we talked about this, before we go on. You are going to be the writer, the artist, the colorist, the letterer, everything.
Everything, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So it's a
Renaissance man.
Yeah, Renaissance man, a one-man army, army of one. He's Rambo. He's gonna.
So was that
Did you see that last Rambo movie? Actually,
wasn't it awesome?
The way how I described it to my friend who he loves Sylvester Stallone and he loves like the Rambo films.
Yeah.
But the thing I described the last section of that new Rambo movie was just it was basically just Home Alone on steroids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Exactly the way to do it. Yes. I remember early on, like when the first trailer came out, people were worried because it showed the teenage girl and then it showed him talking to the woman and he said, "I need your help," and
Mm-hmm.
people thought like, "Oh no, Rambo's going woke,"
No.
I was like, no.
Definitely not.
No. Yeah, no. It was not. It did no. It did no. It no go woke. I said, and then I explained it. I said, okay. I said, to give you a slight spoiler, and I've said this on here before. I says the whole him asking someone, "I need your help," it was literally for directions.
That's all it was in that movie.
That's all it was. He's like, "I need your help. Where are the guys I want to kill?"
Just point me where they are. I'll go out. I'll be out of your hair.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like I said, dude. I was like, it climbed up. I would say it. Besides First Blood, I say that's my second favorite Rambo movie now.
I think the first one I actually saw in theaters was because I got into like the Rambo series like pretty late. But
okay, so you might have saw the last one, John Rambo. Before that.
I think it was it when he was in the I guess the swamps, or was that the last one?
That was in Burma.
Yeah.
That was the one before this one. Yeah,
because I remember seeing that one in the theaters, and I just like immediately wanted to go like rewatch, like just like not rewatch, but like actually to go watch like the other films. Like I went to Half Price Books and I just bought the DVDs for the rest of them, and I just went like on a full like Rambo spree just to kind of like actually like watch the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're good movies.
Good movies, Brent.
Hmm?
Good movies, Brent.
I would say, I guess you could say the third one was probably the weakest.
Yeah, well, that one was I forgot.
That was the one in Afghanistan, where he went to go fight the Russians. It was still good. Don't get me wrong. It was still good. It's just far as why are we here, kind of thing. Why would Rambo show up here, kind of thing. I mean, obviously he only did it to rescue Troutman, but other than that, it's like why would he? Why would he be involved? He'd be involved in a Russian, something to do with the Russians.
Why would he be there? Like in general. Exactly.
Yeah. Like Burma, you could kind of see because it's kind of like I didn't never want to leave Vietnam, or kind of thing. So he's just going to be in that general area.
Because that one felt like he was like he doesn't know how to like adjust to real life, so that's why he kind of like wants to stay in that sort of like like that, like keep his head and like mind in that sort of like field.
Yeah, Because if you look at I liken it like this: if you ignore 2 and 3, right, Rambo 2 and Rambo 3, and you go from First Blood to John Rambo to Last Blood, that canonically makes a better story.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because in First Blood, he tries to go back home, and basically he realizes he has no home. His country doesn't want him. It's the way he feels. So, besides the fact that he would have had to serve time, and so you get to John Rambo, and he's just like, okay, I went back to where everything made sense.
Like you can kind of believe that he just took like the first flight out of jail, like pretty much just to Burma.
Yeah, just to Burma to leave the country. I'm out of here. Going back where things make sense. And then when he finally, gets convinced to go back home, he actually goes home and he finds his life. Something he can love. And then it's taken away from him. And then like you said, the last part of that movie happened.
Oh my, does it happen? It happened with vengeance.
Oh gosh,
You see, Rambo doesn't have a post-traumatic stress disorder because he's the traumatic event.
I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah, he is the trauma, right? Yeah. Well, my friend, our friend Xavier, he may show up later if we're on that long. He likened it like this. He says his dad had a theory because right before that, John Rambo, there was a lot of wilding out going on in Burma, right? Mm-hmm. Conspicuously enough, after that movie, you didn't hear nothing about Burma anymore.
So it's all tech. It could be considered like
a documentary.
So, yeah, we were saying it was actually a documentary. Sylvester Stallone under the auspices of filming a movie went and just wilded out and killed a bunch of fucking soldiers in Burma.
Because he was watching that film and he's like, dude, that's exactly what a 50 cal does to a person.
Yeah, you know which part we're talking about.
Like it's all just real.
Yeah, exactly. And then we said like, well, let's apply logic to this. It's like, have we heard anything else about the border lately?
No,
not really. Did Sylvester Stallone just go wipe out a bunch of border gangs? Once again, under the auspices of filming a movie. Well, I guess we'll know if whenever he does pass away and like Sly gets posthumously gets the Medal of Honor.
Like someone's just gonna go to his grave and just like lay it like right on the tombstone, and everybody's gonna like question and be like, "Wait, what? Like, wait, what's that there?"
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Failure by Winning says, Rambo, good movies that spawned really fucking weird games. Remember that time Rambo turned a guy into a frog by screaming at him in Japanese? That was great. Mike, can you find that clip? Can you see if you can find that for me? Because I need to know more about this.
Oh, God. Rambo turns a man into a frog.
That's a weird search history.
You ever think you would type that into Google search? Let's see. Statistical Zero says the rebels in that country used that movie for inspiration. They screamed the tagline running into battle. And then Holy says, we'll talk about the border next Wednesday when we're on. Okay.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, I mean, those are great movies. Like I said, I was surprised. It's from the NES game, Mike, by the way.
Okay, I found it just like a few seconds before. I'm just trying to find the.
Find the clip where he yelled somebody into frogdom. The thing is like, when he says when he says yell the frog, you know what I'm thinking, right? You remember from Rambo 2? Oh! Oh man. Hell, it's like the other day I was watching Dirty Harry with my dad, and it's just that shit like that happened in that Dirty Harry movie. There's no way, even in as crazy as our world is, that shit would really happen, right? Like, he's just a detective. He's like looking across the street. He's carrying him a hot dog. He looks and he's like, "Oh, there's about to be a bank robbery. Go call the precinct and let them know there's going to be a bank robbery." And as soon as the guy picks up the phone, the alarm goes off and they start shooting. He said, "Oh hell!" He comes out, blows two of them away right off the bat, like kills them. Stops the moving guy in the moving car, and that just happens to hit a fire hydrant. Stops the car, and he walks up to the one guy and does the whole I know what you're thinking, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, that no.
like like even in today's like climate now, it just doesn't seem plausible.
It just doesn't. I don't buy that a middle-aged the police detective in San Francisco is just going to start wilding out and blowing away bank robbers in the middle of the street.
Okay, I think I found it.
All right, let's see it.
I hope it's as good as it sounds.
It sounds amazing already. I'm just saying, like.
Okay, share screen. Okay, because I had to zoom through this fucking video just to see what the fuck this whole thing was about.
All right. Let's give this the. All right, full screen it. Okay. It was just supposed to be another sign. Okay.
Was that it?
Running down this man here.
Go back. Mission accomplished. What the?
My goodness. Footage of a man named Classic Game Dad.
Oh, I've seen that guy before, I think. Yeah, he's cool.
But
All
yeah,
right.
he yelled Japanese at this man, turned him into a frog, and oh my.
Ribbit. All right, guys, just letting you know if you ever hear Slice Stallone start speaking Japanese, run because you might turn into a frog.
That was at the end of the game.
Holy crap! Hey, it's Rotten Glory. Hello, Confiscate. Hail, Graded Point Pod Panel and Chad. Hello, brother. How you doing? Good to see you.
My mind's still wrapped around the frog bit.
I'm not. There you go, Frogu Shato. Might be sure to send that link so I can. I'm going to clip that out. It's just going to be a clip of Rambo turning him into a frog. Why do the Japanese do things like that? You remember that Star Wars game that they had in Japan for the NES?
No, I've never seen that before.
You've never seen that? Oh yeah, he goes and fights Vader, and Vader turns into a scorpion.
After the frog bit, I could believe that that's real too.
But there you go. Does that mean Rambo is a ninja? He can do jutsu.
Oh, like just imagine like Sylvester Stallone doing imagine he's doing the hand signs for like Naruto.
Yeah,
just out of nowhere.
Yeah, there you go. Sketch. If you're wondering, where's the campaign you were showing? Yeah, Robert the graphic novel. It's still in the mailing list right now. The link is in the description below. Michael Beacon just linked it in the chat. So everything's good. Yeah, I'm sorry we got off on a tangent talking about.
Oh no, that's great though.
Yeah. There you go, Luke. I am your father. I'm also a fucking scorpion. Let me see if I can find that clip. Hold on. Star Wars NES. I guess it's Famicom. Vader, Darth Vader, Scorpion. It auto completed. Yep, here it is.
Here you go.
Oh, was that that thing?
Okay, I had to go look it up. I had to make double sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the ending. For some reason, he just yells at a dude, turns him into a frog. I'm looking at the character, trying to figure out what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Stop sharing that. Share this. Chrome tab. All right. You ready for this shit?
I was born ready. Let's look at this.
Here we go.
Is that a bird?
Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jawa Sandcrawler speaking Japanese.
Oh.
Here we go.
And now remember, Luke shouldn't really have a lightsaber at this point, right? Oh, dead
He
immediately.
kills me in midair. For I am a Jedi, I will die midair. That's what the Jedi can do, but what can the Sith do?
And there you go.
Oh my gosh, they turn into scorpions.
There we go.
Oh, he just it's a scorpion.
Years of using the dark side has turned Darth Vader into a scorpion. But when he dies, he goes into crystal form.
Turns into a rupee.
Oh,
Yep.
Because why not, right? Oh man, yeah,
Oh my good lord.
that's amazing. Oh gosh, so we've got Rambo turning people into frogs, and you got Luke Skywalker turning Darth Vader into a damn scorpion. I love it.
I mean, it's like it's implied that that wasn't Darth Vader, just a scorpion, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's not clear at all.
No. Like, just so you understand, I don't understand any of this.
We don't understand anything. It's none of this at all. It doesn't make any sense.
Nope. None of it. No. Not at all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yep, that pretty much spells it out. NES is a hell of a drug. Which I could turn into a scorpion. Oh man, I love it. There you go. You want to make an NES game? Sure, cool. You just need to drop these 3 tabs of acid first.
It's company policy.
Yeah. Look, I'm just trying to be real with you. If you want to make it in this industry, you better start popping acid. Just
To be fair, though, that's how we got Morrowind.
that is true. That's how we did.
Yes.
That is how we got Morrowind.
Morrowind, because the lead writer. Are you familiar with that game of the Elder Scrolls? Scroll? Boogie?
No.
No?
Mm.
Okay, so how can I explain it in the simplest way possible? Okay, so there's these fantasy games, right? You play as any one of a customizable protagonist. You do whatever the hell it is within the confines of the game. But there's a shit ton of lore that you can find across any of these games. The lead writer for most of the games really, really loved mushrooms. He fucking loved mushrooms. And before he started, he was tasked with writing the Elder Scrolls Morrowind lore and backstory. He locked himself in his apartment for 7 days, eating nothing but mushrooms, and he wrote a book called like the 27 or 20. I forget how many. He wrote a multiple book chapter of a character called Vivek, and it's the most batshit thing you'll ever read. Because it is absolutely it's a treatise. It's a religious treatise. It's one of those mysterious documents that every person who ever reads these things will come away with a different idea about it. and it's both directed at the player playing the game. It's directed at the character in your game that you're playing as. It's directed at you as the person, because Vivek realizes that he's a video game character while keeping himself sleeping, and it's utterly bizarre. So what we're trying to say is do more mushrooms. Do
Yeah.
more mushrooms.
Creative ideas just are only a mushroom away.
Exactly. That's how you do it right there. Yeah.
Let me see.
It sounds interesting though for the book though.
Oh my goodness!
It just sounds like he pretty much
the 6 lessons of Vivek.
Yeah.
It just sounds like he pretty much found like the ultimate like way to get out of anybody asking him like, hey, so what's the meaning behind it? You know, he just says, you tell me.
Rotten Glory says, doesn't cost a good goddamn thing to sign up for the email list. Robert the graphic novel. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Doesn't cost anything. Get that thing in it. But what's cool about this, because we were talking offline about some of the things you can like entice people with to sign up for the mailing list. So,
It's
you know,
random things.
you talked about some ideas.
Yeah, and I guess I can gauge the audience just to kind of like ask them like, do people prefer like trading cards or posters, you know, with the mailing list and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, basically people who sign up through the mailing list, you know, he's thinking either doing posters or doing a trading card. I mean, trading cards seem to be popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did, like I said, we did a bookmark, but we have added trading cards to our campaign through, stretch goals, things like that. And we also did, we did posters too. So, he's got, I was like, what the hell is, that's like, we'll see what Rotten was saying. Atomic Deuce number 14, Smangarang. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And then I realized he's talking about his show tomorrow night. So, yeah. It's like, what's going on?
He's got to smang his rang,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, it costs time to say please. Yeah, please go sign up for the mailing list. That is true. Go, please sign up for the mailing list. Check out this Robert the graphic novel. Robert is a robot. And I think it's like, like I said, the images kind of speak for themselves. In case you missed the elevator pitch earlier, basically this takes place in the year 3000 where Y3K has occurred. And in that situation, the robots have essentially become the dominant quote unquote species.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to explain it. And humans are not necessarily something they hunt and kill or anything like that. They bring them in so they can fix so the humans can fix them.
Yeah. So like the humans are basically sought after as as essentially like employees or like like they'll pay the humans with like food or materials. So like it's more of like a barter sort of system in the future where like, oh, I need that hand, or like I need that hand for the rope, like for me because I'm missing a hand now. Okay, well I need like a jug of milk,
Yeah. I need you to fix my leg. Why is that? Well, I've been walking around with this one leg for 5 years, and I'd really like to have another one. Okay, if I could have 3 loaves of bread. Well, all right then. So it's kind of like a situation where the robots and the humans are kind of learning how to deal with each other.
Yeah, like they're sort of like they're essentially like coexisting together. The robots don't really see the humans as a threat just because there's not as many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they also don't like worship the humans. The humans are just kind of like they do need the humans for like fixing them, like fixing like inner components or reattaching limbs or even new limbs.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not. They're seen as more as just like they're kind of there. Yeah.
So prior to the what do you say? Prior to the Cataclysm, which we talked about a little while ago, just to get people who came in later, that these robots, they basically had tasks. They were programmed for a certain task, like cooking or cleaning or digging ditches or stuff like that, right?
Throwing scissors, throwing fireballs, chopping down trees,
running red
with
lights, the usual.
So basically, it was like they were a working class kind of, you would say subservient kind of situation, right? Like, yeah. But then after the Cataclysm, where solar flares have fucked everything up, shut down normal technology and stuff, humans go into bunkers to survive, essentially. And the robots that were left out there they wake back up, and the tasks that they were trained to do are no longer there. So they have to learn how to function, and they do this by reading the literature or old TV broadcasts and things like that at the time to try to figure out how they can be what they are.
Yeah, so
Man doesn't have to cut anymore. Guts Man doesn't have to show his ass anymore.
This is a Mega Man.
I mean, it's close.
Well,
it's pretty close. But yeah, so like the for the robots, they're essentially like learning from like old some of Earth's technology ends up like being able like to work again, like some certain TVs or what's it called, but they're also reading from like books and like comics and stuff like that, so they get sort of an idea of like how they kind of build their own personalities off of existing people, or just what humans have kind of read or like written down in like books, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that a robot could come across like Captain America comic books, and then he suddenly is
decides,
like
what?
Steve Rogers.
Right. He's got a good idea.
Well, the main bot that's actually in the 2-page spread on the mailing list, his name is actually Eastwood.
Oh. This one right here.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, he's wearing a poncho and he's got the hat. Yeah. And a gun.
Yeah. So I have a lot of like influence from like the Dollar trilogy, but then also of course like Transformers, and then I'm more so into like my two favorite things are just like Western movies and then robots. So I kind of figured like putting them together in this sort of post-apocalyptic future, but like adding that twist of like Y3K sort of like happening in the mix. I figured that would be a good setting to kind of like put all these characters that will end up gaining personalities from there'll be like different personalities throughout like history, like through different time periods even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. Like I said, it's an intriguing idea. I like the idea of, they basically learn their new tasks and personalities through literature, and well, I say literature, basically consumption of human material. Yeah.
So it's kind of that whole like I'm kind of playing off of that idea too, where it's like the whole like the idea of if you don't know where you've been, you won't know where you're going.
Right.
Like history tends to repeat itself if you don't
Those who don't learn
it.
history are doomed to repeat it, etc. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of like the robots in a way, they're kind of almost acting identical to humans, based off of before they only had maybe one function, which was just the job that they were tasked or they were programmed.
Right.
But now they're able to essentially just learn just to learn and like create their own personalities off of existing like material out there.
Yeah. Very cool. Like I said, I think it would be. I think it's going to be a pretty cool book. Now that I've Kesher and Sins was a Toonami robot, right? Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that. because Casshern, like if I remember correctly, it started off like it's kind of like kind of your typical flashy style, but then they did this really kind of dark take on it where it was really neat. It was just a neat idea that it went from, hey, it's Casher and he saved the day and here's his robot dog and everything, and then but they didn't take as like, oh, it's Casher and he destroyed the world. Whoopsie doodle.
Just whoops. Like, oops, I did it again.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, dude, I'm really liking the idea. I'm digging the concept. Definitely, everybody, please sign up for this mailing list. How many signups you have so far?
I think before the stream, we actually had a total, I think, of 49 signups so far.
Okay, if we could, maybe we can get that to like over 50. That would be good. I think that would be good, right?
I think so. I was kind of like I've asked around like for some people to kind of like gain an idea of like how many signups should I get before actually launching the campaign.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought maybe I figured like I don't know if 200 would be a good number to sort of shoot for, or to, because I wouldn't want to just launch it right now and potentially like miss out on like people who might have signed on to it, like maybe like might have signed on for the mailing list like a couple of weeks ago, but might have like it might get lost in like in their emails or something,
Yeah. That's why I say, when you sign up for the mailing list, be sure to check your email to confirm it, because if you don't confirm it, you're not going to get email, and then that won't be added to your mailing list, So and be sure to, I say when you make your tweet to show out the mailing list, be sure to, say that too, so people know, because I know a lot of people who didn't get emails because they didn't confirm their email, so
yeah.
So be sure you do that.
Because I've missed out on campaigns sometimes where like it was actually like a couple of months ago that I actually realized like, oh, I'm supposed to go back to the email and actually like confirm it.
Yeah. It took me a while. I think I missed a couple of perks, special perks and things like that because of that, and that kind of sucked. Mm-hmm. But I learned my lesson, so I know what to do now. Yep. So, well, I think this is what's this here? Hold on. Here we go. Existence is pain. Just let me die. Won't they just let me die?
Why did they?
Why? So I think we've pretty much gone over everything for tonight. Like I said, Boogie, it's good to have you on.
It's good to be on here, and I have to thank Piper again for kind of like sending me over to you and to let me be on the show.
Oh yeah, all good. And when you launch, be sure to come back, because
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then we can really dig into it. You know what I mean? So that'll be fun. So yeah, be sure when you launch, be sure to check. Get back with us so we can have you on again. I think that'd be great. So guys, I think this is going to be it for tonight. We appreciate it. If you could, I'm going to post a link in the chat to, this is Wise Guys Entertainment's channel. Currently, he has our friend Mandy Summers on, and she's currently in throes of fulfilling work the wizard and stuff. So if y'all could head over to that channel, to Wise Guys Entertainment, and type in Graded Raid when you get there. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Just so, yeah, exactly. You give them a graded raid, show them what's up, and all that cool stuff. So y'all have a good one. Go check that out. And guess what? We will see you very soon. Next week we got some cool guests coming up, and we will get those announced to you very soon. So we will see you then. And until then, y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.